All right, everybody. So this is a webinar about the basic usage of Piggyback Blog. Going through everything from logging into your Piggyback Blog to being able to make your posts as SEO friendly or as they can be, or sorry, like I said, I'm not feeling well. Sending your blog posts out to social media networks. Now, you can log in 2 different ways. So if you go to piggybackblogs.com, there is a button at the top that says log in, and this will take you to a screen like this where you have your username and your password field. Or let's say you have your blog address. So this one's mine, Tracy Adams, piggybackblogs.com. You can also do a /wp-admin at the end of it. Now, there are a lot of you that on the sidebar is still set as its default, which means that it has a section called meta and an area that says log in there also. So that's 3 different ways that you're able to log into your Piggyback blog. So I just recommend setting it as a favorite in your browser so that you it's easier for you to get to and to save your password and your username whenever you go there as well. So log in. Okay. Whenever you log in for the first time, you'll get a couple of pop-ups all on the screen, like, hey, we just installed SEO Yoast. All right, cool. On top of that, there was a pop-up to the side over here that had a video in it for how to create your first blog post as well. You'll periodically get messages through here, and those come directly from me. So you can click on them and review any of the old messages through there as well. If you ever have a question, that's one way you can send it to me, just by clicking New Conversation and going help. But obviously a little bit more descriptive than help. Okay, so this is your dashboard. The dashboard is the area of your website that you see first whenever you enter. Now, there's a lot of things in here that really aren't necessary for you to pay that much attention to at this time. It's just literally the normal setup for a WordPress install. At a glance, you can see how many posts you have live and how many pages you have live, how much space you're using, things like that. But what's really important is what's over here to the side, and these are your menu items inside of your Piggyback blog. Things like your posts, where your media is stored, your pages. A lot of this stuff is also just there. Like, it's not required for you to know all the things that are in here in order for you to be able to use your blog. Now, that's what I get a lot from our clients, that it's a little overwhelming whenever you log in because there's so many things. But the most important thing for you is posts. Now, there's also pages. So I get a question a lot that says, what's the difference between posts and pages? Posts and pages, I use an analogy to compare them to like a bookstore. In a bookstore, you're going to find things like magazines and things that are like books. Now, magazines are going to have that quick, easier to read, faster, like lots of pictures kind of information, which is current, and that's more like a post, something that you could post about in just that one day, like your community events, quick tips on how to stage your home, things like that. Those are great for posts. Now, pages are more like books. They're static information that you're not going to be updating on a regular basis. Things like contact us, about me, community pages even, and you'll notice that the posts get dated, but pages do not. So posts are within a certain time span. Like, you could make a post today and 5 years from now, it's still going to be on the internet. Content is forever, but the fact that you made the post that day makes it more current to then, but the information is still necessary. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a post. So if we go under posts, You can click Post itself. You can click All Post. They'll both take you to the same place. Now, when you get in here, you're able to utilize the button that says Add New or the button Add New to the side in order to create a new blog post. You'll see a list of all your previous blog posts, the categories that they're in, who wrote them, how many comments, or the date that you wrote them, and like your SEO buttons. So this is the layout of your all post page. It kind of just gives you your definitive list of posts. So let's just go ahead and click on Add Post. Okay. So inside here, this is where we're going to be adding our content. Just when you're thinking of adding content, don't let it scare you. Think of it more and more like if you were just sitting down in front of Word and writing down an email or something like that. An email always has a subject line, but it's always better when that subject line actually tells you what the email's about, so you know how urgent it is, or if you really want to read it like right when you get it, or if it can wait a little while. So common blog posts are about the areas. Your blog doesn't have to be about just real estate. It can be about your area more so than the real estate side of things. So if there's like a festival going on, write about it. Write about how it ended, whether you'd go again or if you'd recommend it, things like that, things that you could be found for or want to be found for in your area. It doesn't just have to be real estate. This is to be adding content on a regular basis to your domain name that's being utilized on your e-agency website, so that more exposure can come by way of search engines. So what you start off with is to put a title in place. Your title needs to be descriptive. It needs to include like what you're actually going to be discussing in your blog post. So let's say we're going to write a post about quick tips for home for new homeowners. And then you're going to write about, what you made your actual blog, title about. So I'm not going to be able to write much about quick tips for new homeowners except for, I'm just going to put content in place so that we can work around it. Okay. So in conjunction with writing a blog post, you're going to want to have, media in place and manipulate the content that you've put in place. A lot of times I have people ask how to create hyperlinks because this little guy here is, grayed out for the moment. You have to highlight an area and then you can use it. Because you're creating a link, you have to have the item selected that you want to be linked. And you just add the URL in here. You can have it open in a new tab. I definitely recommend this if the link that you're linking to is outside of your website. So if it's outside of eAgency or your Piggyback blog, always have it open in another window. If you want to link to something that is already present inside of your blog, you can click the area underneath here. It says Link to Existing Content, and it will list all the pages and posts that you have already in place. So we can go and click that, and we don't need it to open in another tab because it's internal. Click the add link, and ta-da! It turns into a hyperlink rather than just text. If we want to change things up as far as our content as well, there's a secondary bar below this initial toolbar area, and you can have it show by clicking the toolbar toggle button. And in this area, you're going to find everything from like underlining to text color to justification, all that kind of stuff. If you're someone that prefers to write your blog posts in a place like Microsoft Word or something like that, and you want to just copy and paste your information in, One quick way is to do it this way, is to click the Paste as Text button, and it'll automatically bring it in for you. Okay, so a little rundown of the tools that you have to work with on this toolbar other than the ones that manipulate content. There are a couple of tools that are given to you through a plugin called the Simple Real Estate Pack. And because this is a third-party plugin, it's not something that we created. We're not able to correct any issues that we've found in it, so I'll just go ahead and tell you to avoid this section here, the one that says Google Map. It doesn't get its latitude and longitude, so it doesn't actually work, but there is a fix right here to allow you to be able to put a map in if you want. Okay, so the first section is your schools and Yelp. A lot of people will utilize this for their community pages. So you can put the city. We're in Orlando, Florida, and we want to pull in, I guess, all the city schools and group by school type. You can output it as a table, or you can output it as a list. There's a lot of little options in here you can select. So insert, and it's going to put it in place so that we can utilize it in our blog post. Inside that same area, there was Yelp businesses as well. So if you're also doing a community page, you could put in there what is closest to this specific place. It'll show, like if you want to pull all categories, or if you want to pull just grocery stores or gas stations and things like that, that's also possible. Apologize for that. Also, there is a mortgage calculator that you can insert into any of your blog posts. If you're talking about new financing or anything like that, this would be a nice addition to the blog page or blog post. And this lets you choose between a mortgage calculator, an affordability calculator, and a closing cost estimator. And you can make slight changes to it all the way through. Next is the Altos Market Stats button. You can do a lot with this as well. You choose this kind of chart, the actual statistics that you want mapped out on that chart. So you can do it by price and by average days on market, and choose your areas that you want things to show up in. All right, so we got our little graphic from that too. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see, we got Trulia market stats as well. So for Trulia, we can pull in sales volume, number of properties, a bunch of different things inside there. So let's just go ahead and grab one of those as well to put in here so we can see what things look like. I guess I really didn't do it for a very long amount of time, but yeah, you can see what it pulls in for us. And if you wanted to put in a Google map, this app right here will do this for you. So if you want to make a new map, it will usually open it and you'll be able to easily add a map, but I already have one in here. So I do new map. And unless it knows my location, it's going to show everything. So if we scroll in to the area we want to show, we can get as close or as far as we want. We can put in a specific marker to a specific location. So if you have an address, then you can put that in place. Let me just get over to Florida so I can put it here. All right, so I put in the zip code of 32817. And you can zoom down to it, and you can have it show like this. And you have to make a title. Save the changes. and you can insert the map that way. It'll show up like this. This is what you call a short code in the map and in the blog post. So if we just preview, you can see our content, our bunch of information. Looks like we have a coding issue on this one. Let me go change that real quick. Our links aren't showing up the way I want them to. All right, there we go. So you can see all these different links in the areas that are nearby. These are all the schools. These are more schools in the area. I didn't specialize. Orlando's a very big city, so I didn't say if I wanted just like middle schools or anything like that. I got like all of them. So you have to be aware of like how much information you're going to be getting from one of these plugins. And then our map that we made, our charts that we made as well. So you can see how these things come through. You have the ability to manipulate a lot of it. When you're writing the blog post, though, you want to be sure that you're getting your content out there and that people are able to understand what you're getting, where you're going. It's very important to include at least around 300 to 500 words in a blog post so that you have enough content in there for search engines to go through. So next, I would like to say that there's an area over here called categories. Now, categories can help your actual blog post be more easily sorted. And you see, I have one over here called Baldwin Park, one called blog, one called buyer's tips. If you're in a blog post and you're like, man, this would probably be really good for a specific category, you can make the category on the fly and just be like seller's tips, and then add it. And then ta-da, you're just underneath it. So whenever you do that, it adds that category to your URL. So if you're talking about a community regularly, but the community that you're talking about isn't in the actual subject line, this will help it get exposed to the search engine so that Google knows what you're talking about as well. I do see that somebody, like Steve's asked if these tools work in Canada. I would imagine they would. They're pulling from information on the internet. So if it doesn't, then the simple real estate tools, that's specifically from a third-party developer. So we're not able to manipulate or change it up for you if it doesn't pull Canada as well. So yeah. The categories will help you out as far as sorting things out. Adding media, this is another important part. So if you go to the button that says Add Media, this has been tricking people up because people were trying to add in pictures, but it says Add Media. Media is meaning that it's going to be able to upload, more than just photos. You can upload documents, you can upload PDFs, you can upload videos. However, there's an easier way to do the whole video thing, honestly, than uploading them directly to your blog. If you click on Select Files, once you've clicked on Add Media, this will open up a window so that you can grab any of the new photos that you have on your computer and upload them directly. This is very much like whenever you try to upload a photo to Facebook or something like that. It requires the same kind of method. If you have photos already in there, they're going to be located under your media library. So in the media library, there are the same settings you're going to see if you upload an actual photo. You can set the title, the caption, the alt text, the description. So the title and the caption, the title and the description are things that most people will not actually see other than you. The caption is displayed out to your users. So it will be located underneath the actual photo. Alt text is for the search engines. So you're going to notice later on down the road that SEO wants you to have your keyword that you're focusing your blog post on in the alt text of a photo within your blog post. And this is how you would get it, by writing it into this area. Then below all that is kind of some of your display settings that you're able to manipulate, like alignment and your size. And if you want people to be able to click that photo and go to a specific place, or just to see the photo at full size. Alignment, you can do it left, right, and center, or none at all. I'm a big fan of left and right alignment for my photos because I like my text to bump up against it, either on the left or on the right, depending on which alignment it has. And then you have size. So size will take a bigger photo and it'll give you size options so that you can display it appropriate to how you want your content to be put out on this blog post or page. I'm a big fan of medium. If it was something that you're trying to show off like a home, you could do it center aligned and then do it large and then have it, be kind of the focus part of the actual blog post. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at a medium size, and I'm going to do left alignment. And I'm going to have to put text in place so you can see the alignment. Nope. Sorry. See how the text is sitting to the side? It looks like it's going to be directly beside it, but it's not going to be inside of the actual post. There's space around it all the way around so that it has breathing room. Okay, and if you wanted to add video, one quick way to do that is to go to somewhere like YouTube. Let's just grab a video. All right, so your URL for your video is up here, and it usually says youtube.com. Instead of, whenever there are times you can go in there, it'll say youtube.be. You can't use the link that says that, but you can use this one. So whenever you want to take a YouTube video and put it on your blog, all you have to do is copy the URL and then to just come in here and paste it. Let me get down and paste it into your blog post. Now, you would think that whenever you click to view this that it would just show the link, but it actually, WordPress knows YouTube links, and it will automatically display it. So if we just click preview, we can take a look at that. It's going to overlap it because it doesn't have the correct room. But yeah, this is how you get the video to show. And then you just have to click play to get it to go. Galleries are also very important. Whenever you're adding one image at a time, it can get kind of annoying because they won't be exactly all the same size or in the same row. There's an option to do that by doing create gallery to include multiple photos into one gallery. And you can add captions really easily to show for your gallery. And then you can click insert, and they'll all nicely line up. So they look a little bit better than, being wonky or, not all in a line. It's just a nice, cleaner way to display your multiple photos. All right, and after you have finished writing your blog post, the button over here that says publish is how you're going to put it live on your website. Now, if you make a blog post published on your Piggyback blog, it will show up on your blog page. And they'll all be in a list. Now, if you wanted to create pages, they will have to be linked up in a separate way. And lastly, a lot of people utilize the Wolfnet WordPress plugin to get the most out of their Piggyback blog. Now, you do have to have a product key in order for the actual plugin to work. It's already activated and ready to go on your website. You just have to have that product key from Wolfnet. And you'll be able to add your searches in really easily to your blog posts and pages, and it's really awesome to have because it's like instant SEO right from the bat, because these properties all have a new place inside of your domain, and each one of these properties adds to your index at Google. If you're ever curious as to how your index is doing on Google, you can put in your domain. You can go, let me just go to Google. All right. So if you go to Google and you type in site : then you put in your domain name. So let's do julesfarmer.com. So she has 106 pages already indexed on her website. So she's utilizing her blog. You can see she also has the additional feature from Wolfnet where she's utilizing the search. Here's her blog. You can see the difference in all these. You can see all the different pages. You can see where these pages are being indexed from. And you can do this on your own domain as well to see how well you're doing. The higher the number, the better. The more pages on your website means the more content on your website, which means that the search engines have more information to go through to find out what your site is all about, and in hopes that what someone has asked them for is what you have for them to give to that person who's making the query on the search engine. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? I know that we're already at the halfway point. I didn't get to cover half as much as I thought I would now that I actually have everything in a list for me to cover. If anybody has any questions, I can answer those, or we can just keep going. In order to respond to a question or to write a question, you can click the little chat bubble at the top of your screen, and it will open up the chat window so that you can respond or write a question. All right, well then I'm just going to keep going. All right, so Steve, are you still there? Okay. How about we create a community page on your website for us to show the ability on your site? All right, so this is Steve's website. We're going to go to his blog. Well, let me log into my other account. Okay. So you say you made a search already. Community pages are something that are very popular with our Piggyback blog system. I recommend it, especially if you have the Wolfnet WordPress plugin. It's awesome to have all these things laid out so that search engines can find them and you can link them up in your menu. Okay, so I'm going to pick one of these. So Avalon, Orleans, Ontario. I'm going to pick this. Okay, so he's already created a couple of searches. If we wanted to create a search ourselves, so if we wanted to look specifically in Ontario and Alfred, and we wanted to find things only in that city because we were going to write a blog post about that, that renders us 9 matches specifically for that search. You can go through, every MLS is going to be different in this section because everyone has different options within their MLS. But you can, anything you have an option to click, you can manipulate how your search is going to be done from there. So after you have the search the way you want it, you have the results that you want, you can go down to save and then type in a description for that actual the search that you created. If you save the search, it gets added to this list. So if we're going to go create the page, you can see these are the pages that he has made currently. I think this is the one I copied. Avalon, Orleans. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a new page. And you see that the layout is very much just like whenever you create a blog post rather than a page. They're just utilized a little bit differently is all. So Avalon, Orleans, Ontario, homes for sale. Inside this area, we would want to write content, include content, because Steve's going to write this in for us. And we want to have a couple of photos, because everybody likes photos. And we want to put in the search that we created. So if we go to the little paw print to the side here, that's going to bring up our Wolfnet shortcode builder. So I like the listing grid specifically for community pages because it displays a little photo and it's all really nice and neat, and I'm just a big fan of it. So Avalon, Orleans, and then you can put available homes in Avalon, Orleans. You can decide if you want to include a map or not, or only the map. And the map will show the listings on it if you have it set that way through Wolfnet. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and insert this, have that there, and go ahead and publish this page. So if we go view this page now, that's beautiful. We have our title, our content that Steve is going to fill in for us, and our search is displaying. So if we click on any of these searches, it's still within Steve's website. And he's got the Wolfnet 3.0, so it's mobily responsive inside here as well. So if we go back and we're going to get this URL here, but we want it to show up in his menu. We want him to be able to have the option for people to find these communities through his menu without having to find this specific page in order to be able to use it. So we're going to have to go to KW for that, because your menu is controlled through your KW website, because this is an e-agency website with a Piggyback blog attached to it. Give me a second to get logged in. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Is everyone able to follow so far? I mean, if you have any questions, you can feel free to shoot them. Okie doke. So this is your eAgency website admin tool. If you want to add something to your menu, your options are under section 3.1. So he has a neighborhoods tab. We don't currently have it visible, so we're just going to make it visible. We're going to go to additional links and add in Avalon, Orleans. We're going to put this under neighborhoods. We're going to have it open in the same window. So we're going to go over here and, here, after I find it, grab the URL for the blog post or the blog page, and then we're going to add it to the menu. So we have everything all in place, and we click Save. Now, this may make our actual menu quite long and too long for Steve's site. If it does, then it will show the menu, the little hamburger menu. Actually, go home. Okay, neighborhoods, and then our Avalon Orleans community page that we created. So if we go ahead and click on that, that takes us into that page, and then we're there. But you'll notice that the menu in the blog it's not the same as it was when we were on the regular website. So you have to go in and update this so that it's the same on both sides. And you do that by going into the dashboard of the blog. Going under Appearance, eAgency, and clicking Refresh. You do this anytime you make any changes to your menu or your design or anything like that on your eAgency side, so that all the changes come over to your blog so it still looks exactly the same on both sides. So now we have our neighborhood section underneath there and in the blog and on the website. There are a couple of different kinds of displays when it comes to the Wolfnet WordPress plugin. And I'll just show you a couple. So if we want to do a featured listings tab, then we click featured listings, insert. Let's go down and let's add another one. The listing grid was the one that we saw a second ago. Property list is going to be a list of properties, but they're going to be links. You won't see the photos like we did with the grid. And then the last one is your quick search. This is a really nice way to add the ability for people to be able to search on interior pages of your blog as well. So there's that too. I'm going to take a look at it. All right, so we have our featured listings. Featured listings is a scrollable box. Your property list. So it's all just a list. There's no photos. And then you have your quick search, which shows as a box that you're able to search from inside of your interior pages of your blog as well. So there's a lot of different options inside here that you can use if you have the WordPress plugin. Another important piece to making blog posts and blog pages the best they can be as far as trying to earn SEO on them. Now, guaranteed, this is not something that is necessary when it comes to creating blog posts and having a successful blog. Now, it's helpful because it helps you focus in on making sure that your blog post is focused on an actual thing that people would be searching for. This section here called the SEO Yoast plugin will help you set your keyword for your blog post or your page. So to look at a previous post that I've made about Baldwin Park. So my keyword on this post was Baldwin Park. It's not the whole entire title. I wouldn't. That's not a keyword. A keyword is an actual word, not a long series of words. Um, so whenever I put in my keyword, what it does is it's looking through to see if my keyword is located in all these different places. If it's located in the article heading, the page title, the page URL, the content, and the meta description. This is your page title. This is your URL. This is your content. This is your meta description. Your meta description is the area, the content that is displayed inside of search engines to try and get people to go to your actual blog post. So if you search for anything on the internet, if you search for Keller Williams, the section here is the meta description. This is the meta description here. Now, you have 156 characters in which to try to sell your blog post or your blog page to the people searching on the internet. So it's nice to use things like your actual keyword, but to use the other words that people may utilize, like real estate, your area, homes for sale. Those are very popular. So that's a great place to add those in as well as throughout your content. If you ever have an issue, most of the time the issues will be best displayed under the section called page analysis. It'll kind of give you those extra clues as to what's going on wrong and why you're not getting that green light for your SEO. So, like on this page, I'm still missing having an image that contains Baldwin Park in the alt tag. So if I want to click that real quick, I can go to the actual photo, click to edit it. I don't have any alt text on it right now, so I could add that in, update that, click to update the actual blog post, and then go back down to page analysis, and I've cleared out that error now. So this isn't necessary for you to have a good blog. This isn't necessary for you to have a successful blog. It just kind of helps you do the extra mile so that you can get a little bit more out of your blog post or page, especially out of the content that you've written. Do we still have any questions? Lately, people have also been utilizing Piggyback Blog pages for things like their Contact Us page or their About Us page. If you wanted to add in a page for your Piggyback blog for your website that's the About the Team page, you can do that. And as you could see from previously, that adding in the photos is really easy inside here, much easier than adding them inside of the agency photo library. And you're able to have them sit to the side as well. So if I wanted to write about information about my team and how long we've been together, and I want to add in a photo of a house. I mean, this is not going to be a house. Pretend it's a someone that works with us. And I want to put their name and their title and then their bio. And I'm just going to copy that so I can just rewrite it a whole bunch. Because it would be more than just three words written about a team member. And then we want to write in another person. And you could go in here and make the actual name be more important by like making it an H2. You can see it changes the text a little bit, and let's make the title more important as well. A little less important than the actual name. And then that could be a really nice about you page. The Piggyback blog does not have a media limit, and you can add as many photos as you want. That's another reason why I suggest utilizing it when it comes to these static pages like the About Us and these community pages and things like that, because there is no limit, and this is storage that you pretty much get to keep with you like forever. It's forever content. Um, I know that on the dashboard it'll say that you have a certain amount of space. However, don't worry about that. But doing the videos on YouTube and then just linking them the way I showed earlier will save a lot of space. And it just loads a lot better doing it that way rather than loading the actual video to your blog. But photos, you can load it up. There's no limit. You're welcome. All right, guys. If anybody else has any other questions, I'm going to take those for the next 7 minutes, and then at 3 o'clock we'll just be shutting this down. I'll put the webinar on YouTube, and I'll be sending out an email that will link you up to it if you want to view it for later purposes. I have the question of when you add the searches and communities, do they automatically change when new active listings are added to MLS? Yes, they do. If a home is sold and it's a listing that's on your blog, this home will no longer be listed, but it'll have a page on your domain. Any houses that are added will also be added to your domain and added to that list. Now it does have to, it won't be instant, just like it isn't instant whenever you add something to the MLS for it to be listed for everyone to see, like instantaneously. But once the site knows to refresh, it will add in and take out what it needs to be active or current with the MLS. You're welcome. A PDF I just have the question, can a PDF be uploaded, say, of our pre-listing presentation that potential clients can download? Yes. When you add a PDF, I don't even know if I have a PDF on my computer right now to add. If you're going to have a post that includes a PDF, you're going to be adding the PDF through your Add Media area. I have a PDF just for the sake of putting one in here. All right, so this is how a PDF will show up. You can do a caption, you can do a description, that kind of stuff. But when you insert it, it puts it as a link. You can change the name of this link in that area that we were just in. You can change the name here. You can do that. And then whenever people have it, they'll be able to click here and it'll open the PDF. And of course, whenever you do that, you can also, do copy link as or, save target. A PDF will not display like a photo will. So it creates a link. Now, you don't want it to make posts that have just lots and lots of PDFs in them because Google can't really read them to know what they are. You have to have the content actually in the blog post, not in PDFs. Okay? What other types of files can be uploaded? Well, I've uploaded photos and videos and PDFs before. I don't know if I've tried anything other than that as far as uploading files. Do you have anything else in mind other than like regular photos, PDFs, video files, things like that? True. Yes, you can do that. It's a little bit easier to do something like, all right, so whenever you put this in here, you get the link to the actual PDF. So you can copy that and then just put an image, and then inside that image, link to a custom URL, and then paste in the image of that, paste in the URL of that PDF, so that when people click this image, it'll take them to the PDF. That's another option. I got you. As far as landing pages inside a Piggyback blog, I definitely recommend actually utilizing pages over posts. There are abilities in which you can add in contact forms and be able to add lead captures into your blog as well. That plugin is under this area and it's called Gravity Forms. I do have a video for that in our tutorial area of our YouTube channel. Whenever I send out the follow-up email, it will be located. A link to all of our tutorials is at the top of the screen. So it says Piggyback Blog Tutorials, and then there's one in there. It's called Creating Forms with Gravity Forms. Exactly. I totally understand with keeping everything in one platform. Whenever you send people to somewhere other than your one site, you're losing your viewership because now they're divided between going to that site and keep chasing whatever it is they were actually looking for, or staying on your site and where everything should be accessible to your actual your users. Okay, well, it is 3 o'clock and I'm going to end the webinar. Please feel free to schedule an appointment with me if you have any questions or want me to look at any of the blog posts that you've written. and give you some pointers as to what I think you should change or anything like that, I totally open to doing that. The link that I just sent out is the link to where you can go in and schedule. This will also be included in the follow-up email as well as the recorded webinar that we just completed. So thanks for coming and have a great day.